My name is Ntando Skutla.
My name is Jessie.
My name is Stacey Gussain.
I'm Ledineo.
Zad Omar.
And this is the ultimate Wildcat.
I decided to get into content creation because it really just speaks to who I am. I'm a very creative person and I love sharing that with the rest of the world. I feel that content creation is the perfect way to express myself. Some people paint, some people sing, some people do many forms of art, and for me, my form of art and expression is content creation because that brings together technology, which I love. It brings together my creativity and it just allows me to share that with my community, which I also love.
I loved playing outside with the boys, playing soccer, netball, any sport that you could think of. And so my mom actually decided to enter me into pageants. And then from there, I really started exploring what I could do on social media and actually creating content. And I actually fell in love and became super passionate about creating not just images, but now especially videos and content and just showing myself through an image and just being creative in that sense.
I've always truly been in the creative space. I did modeling from a really young age as well, and dancing. So I've always loved creation as a whole. Basically just creating a story and watching it come to life is always just the best part of content creation for me.
I love being creative, I love growing and learning. I think that you can constantly get out of the box when it comes to it. So if your life is very set in stone, you can really just be creative when it comes to content, and that was a part of me that I love exploring. I love the creative side of me. Content creation also showed a different aspect of who I am.
Content creation, it's so natural to me. I feel like I didn't decide, but it literally chose me. I've been creating content since I've had a phone with a decent camera, and that was like in high school. I didn't know it was an actual career. I'm not sure if it was at the time, but yeah, it was just natural. I would just create content for fun. I'd do my makeup after school, take pictures to post on Facebook. When I found out that you can actually make money through doing what I love naturally, I went for it.
When I had the first opportunity to work with a brand and to create content for them, I saw actually how fun it can be and how interesting it is and how much you can learn from social media and from technology. And I felt that's where my calling is being behind a camera. That's where I feel the most comfortable, the most confident. Yeah, I just fell in love with it. It was like everything just fell into place.
What I enjoyed about the finale, firstly, is the mountain view every day. I love Cape Town. This is only my third time here, but it's an absolutely beautiful city. So when I knew that the finale was going to be here, I got so excited. And then secondly, being able to network and meet such incredible women, from the other contestants to the Wildcat team. I feel like being able to meet and grow with these women is so incredible because that's how you learn.
It's one thing to see everybody through the different challenges like behind your phone, but to see actually their personalities in real life. And I don't think there could have been a better paired top 6 together. Our personalities just gel so well. It's literally been such fun times and we've literally been laughing together the entire trip, which was so lovely. Actually so beautiful to see that all of us, our different personalities, our different backgrounds, just coming together and actually gelling and being so close-knit together.
Spending time with the girls and getting to know each of them and learning from them, that's been really great.
First of all, I'm in Cape Town, the most beautiful place in South Africa. So grateful. I really love the villas that we've been sleeping in, the aesthetics, like what? And also the girls. Like, I think it's so hard to find like a group of girls or to put a group of girls together that match, because you just never know what to expect with girls.
Learning I really, really love to learn new things, and I think I grew so much from the experience because I've learned so many things. Like, it's crazy. Especially our workshop with Chris Rogers yesterday was just so mind-blowing and so eye-opening.
The food must be one of my highlights because I love food. So the food was really divine. But from the Ultimate Wildcat experience, I must say my favorite part was maybe meeting the people. I think in content creation, it's such a big thing to always do networking, and who you get to meet and the things you learn from those people are absolutely amazing. Just growing new relationships and friendships, that's always a great way. And yeah, it's just networking.
So our workshop with Chris was very fascinating for me. Firstly, because meeting him, I was a bit starstruck and I had to keep it, low-key, we can't give that away. But what fascinated me was the way he thinks and works. It just comes to him so naturally, and the way he's just so passionate about it, it almost rubs off on you. So it was such a great opportunity to mingle with someone in the space that is so big and understands what he's doing, and just to see how he thinks. Like, I never thought of content creation in the sense of it being a story. What I took from that workshop was how to think as if you are the camera. So I really enjoyed it, and hopefully I can be as good as him one day. Chris, I'm coming for your job, watch out.
I'm somebody that just loves to be in front of the camera. So for me to change that and actually be behind somebody, actually directing these different shoots from behind the camera and telling another person to do these different things was for me quite challenging. And I sort of was really nervous about doing the challenge because it's not my strongest suit, all of these transitions, but actually doing it and sort of taking myself out of my comfort zone was actually so fun. And I mean, learning from somebody like Chris Rogers, who actually helped all of us every step of the way, and sort of finding out how we can actually use the laptops instead of our phone, which is what we're also comfortable with and what we are used to doing, as opposed to actually being on your laptop and seeing how much more crisp and how much better and elevated our content can actually go.
I learned so much about content creation and about editing and how to unfold a piece of content and turn it into something completely different.
You think like, okay, cool, I'm getting the hang of this now. And then you meet someone like that who's absolutely incredible, that teaches you so much. So learning, firstly, to better my content creation. Secondly, to just learn about other people's content creation styles and learn that everybody has their brand, and that it's just taught me so much about content and social media and the new technological world that we're moving into. So definitely the learning aspect thereof, because I've really learned a lot.
Wow, that was like a lot. At first I was very nervous because it's outside of the box for me. It was like a once in a lifetime experience. Chris is so talented, it's insane. To literally just sit next to him and to be given that opportunity, I'm so grateful for that, and I learned a lot. My content definitely will elevate after this just because of that single workshop. So yeah, very grateful.
The workshop that we got to do, obviously I'm very much clued up with how to edit and how to film and to create content, but always learning something more and knowing something more from someone in that level of the industry is absolutely amazing.
So for me, the most challenging part of the Ultimate Wildcat was definitely the timeline and how to differently express the same brand, because usually when you work with a brand over a long period of time, it can get repetitive. So I always tried to find ways of expressing and showing the brand in different ways to engage my audience and also captivate the brand. I didn't want to become repetitive and do the same kind of content, and I found that a bit challenging because it forced me to think out of the box. So in the same breath, it was also it was growth. It allowed me to think and be creative. So a challenge is always good because it forces you to grow.
Getting rid of the mindset that I am so young. Being in this competition with the older ladies, I had to really reaffirm myself and understand that I am here because I'm really good at content creating and I have such a big passion for it. So being able to bring myself to myself and understand that I am actually here for a purpose and that I'm really good at what I do despite my age, despite who I am or whatever I do, I'm really good at what I do and I'm actually deserving of being here.
Staying in my lane. It's so important to stay in your lane, run your race. I found that you get to points where you're like, yo, that's such a cool shot, maybe I should have. And then it was so important for me to just constantly check in with myself and just be like, stay in my lane, like it's my brand, I'm running my race.
I love that this competition has taught me how to, like, you know, put myself under pressure and like there's nothing that I can't do, literally.
I've learned so much about myself, about content creation, about fashion, athleisure.
I struggled to adapt when it comes to my personal space, so like sleeping at another house, not in my bed. I think that was like the most challenging thing, waking up in a very different surrounding. Just everything that's not the same as it is at home was the biggest thing to adapt to.
So my thought process when creating content, I think firstly I'll get the brief and I'll debrief it, so make sure that I fully understand it, and then from there I will create a storyboard. So what message do I want to get across from whatever brief is given to us? How am I going to shoot it? Where? What am I going to wear? How am I going to style it? Have everything written down and well typed out, just so I know when I go shoot it, I know exactly what I need. And then from there, I will sit and edit it, have a vision, sometimes reshoot it if it doesn't come out the way I envision it. But yeah, it's basically having everything written down so I can tick off those boxes.
This is a good idea, but what else could I do? How much broader could I go, or how much more specific could I be in this type of content? And then I would watch reels for inspiration or go on TikTok and sort of finding a sound that resonates with me to put onto my reels, to put onto my TikToks, and that's how I create my content. And then obviously with my taking the actual videos, I'd ask my sister or my mom or my friends to come with me and I'd sort of show them what I want, and then we'd put our own spin on sort of an inspiration of what we have and then film that. And then my post-production, I would sit down, give myself maybe 30 minutes at least to really go through my videos and polish my videos and see how different I can make my own content and then send it through.
I'm very particular with the way that I structure my content creation. My first thing that I do is go to Notepad and I will write down everything that I need to accomplish from what I was given from the brief. Then I'll go to Pinterest and make my mood boards and structure everything in that way. Get kind of inspiration and then turn it into something unique and true to who I am, and make sure that it also just rolls in with what the brand stands for. So I always try to keep my content as unique as possible, true to who I am, and also trying to just mesh it with the brand as well.
I will sit and physically plan what I need to get and how it needs to be done. And I must admit, I'm very much open to allowing, when I am shooting, allowing space for just letting things happen. The spontaneity of an actual shot or the creation thereof. It's important to have both of those and not just have this rigid idea of what you're going to do and that's where it stays. I think there's a place for both, but it's really good for me to incorporate both of the spontaneity and the very planned aspect thereof.
I don't think I have like a scheduled way to do my content or a traditional way of creating content. So it would be like if I get inspiration from a place, or usually maybe off of Pinterest, or maybe like an idea will just pop into my head out of nowhere. and then I would just like start filming. I'm very like impulsive. I don't necessarily like plan out or like jot down how I should create my content, but I don't know, I just trust in the process and I just work as I go.
It's very strange to explain, but it's not that I actually sit down and physically like plan out, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. It's just something that comes very naturally to me. And so I'll first look at the product that I have to promote, what does the brand stand for and what do they expect, and from there on I see how I can adapt my content and the stuff that makes me comfortable can fit into that, and try and not only promote myself but the brand as well. And I always try and make it somewhere fashion related and fitness, because that's somewhere in between where what people see me as.
I think what makes me unique as a content creator is that I always try to put my personality as the center of everything I do. Because usually when you work with brands, you try to imitate or put this image across that sometimes isn't you. And I feel like what makes me special is that I always try to bring across my personality. I'm a fun, bubbly person, but also at the same time, very sleek and chic. So I always try to bring that across in my content and never try to be someone that I'm not.
I think I'm really versatile. I'm really able to do anything. I don't sort of limit myself to only this type of content creation or this niche, but I can fit into any space, and I have incredible sense of belief in myself, whereas I can challenge myself to not just step out of my comfort zone, but just do absolutely anything. Or if I see something that I think would be interesting, I'll try to attempt it even if I have no clue what or how to do it, but I'll still go into it and just do it and wait to see how it actually comes out.
So I always try to incorporate something new or something more exciting or something a little bit more different.
I'm very open about my life and my health and my experiences on my social media channels. So I think just the authenticity of who I am as a person and what I bring to the table, of you still get this really beautiful, clean aspect of me, but I'm more than happy to be vulnerable and to be open about my experiences and what I'm going through. I very much love stories and I love experiences, and I really enjoy sharing that.
Definitely my aesthetic. Also, like having an aesthetic, you really have to have a good eye for that. And I feel that I know, like I have the ability to make things look beautiful, things that people wouldn't necessarily consider nice, or maybe like ordinary things that people don't even notice, like the beauty of those things. Like, yeah, that's essentially what content creation is. It's you take something and you make it look beautiful, make it look appealing. So, yeah.
I can be very serious, but also very fun and lovable as well. But I think my strongest quality might be that I'm a very open person. I'm a very extrovert, so I'm very open to anything and new experiences, new challenges, and things that push me out of my comfort zone.
Sometimes you do hit like a rock bottom and you think that I can't do this, or people don't really care. This competition showed me that I have such a great community that appreciates and supports the work I do, and that whatever I'm putting out into the world is actually not for granted. People are watching, people are listening, and that I need to believe in myself, because sometimes it's so easy to do content creation and you're putting out all this work and you can sometimes feel like nobody cares. But I think this competition just came to show that I'm actually capable of making something out of this. Like, content creation is a real thing and it can be it can be a career. So it definitely showed me that I'm capable and that I have a space in this industry.
I've grown in my whole content creation process and in the actual quality of work that I produce now. So I found that I'm more easygoing about content. I don't really get nervous about taking content anymore, whereas before I'd really be super anxious before posting, thinking, oh my gosh, will people like it, or did I do this properly, is this good enough? Whereas now I really feel like I have gained a lot of experience through doing all of these challenges. Every second week was a new challenge, and it was sort of an opportunity for me to grow into my content creation from last year to this year, especially through this competition. I feel like I've grown immensely and I've become so much more consistent from doing these challenges, and it's shown through my social media and how my consistency has actually grown my following from being in this competition.
It was like every week you don't really know what you're getting. So it's like, cool, Wildcat's at the door, and you open the box and you're like, what am I gonna do with this? And that for me is very cool because I sit there and I'm like, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. And then your mind is racing at like 500 kilometers an hour because you're brainstorming everything. And I think I just love the fact that I was challenged continuously. And I feel something that I really was proud of myself for was that I felt like I leveled up as the challenges leveled up. Like I got to know myself and I got to know what I like and what works for me, which I really, really appreciated actually about the whole experience in general.
That I do have what it takes, that I am a lot stronger than I thought I was and have a lot more skill than I thought I did. Yeah, and just truly being able to push myself out of my comfort zone.
There's absolutely nothing I cannot do. Like literally just entering this competition, I feel like it just unlocked another part of me that wants to explore more and put myself out there even more. There's like endless opportunities and I'm just so proud of myself for that. So yeah, I've learned that I can do anything and be whoever I want to be.
To be more patient, at home I have a whole team that can help me. I've got people filming the content for me. I've got people that help me with my photography. I've got people helping me with my videos. Sometimes I've got help with styling or hair and makeup. And you get so comfortable with having that support system behind you that when you are alone and you have to depend strictly on yourself, and when you film content and photos and they don't come out as you would expect, you get very disappointed and it pushes your confidence down in what you created. So I think that's the big thing I learned during this challenge, is just being patient with yourself and just being focused.
My advice to girls who want to enter is just to do it. Enter. I remember when I was considering entering, I was doubting myself and I thought that, oh, I'll enter this and I might not make it, and I almost didn't. And imagine if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. So just take that leap of faith, enter, do your best, and if you don't make it, try again, because at the end of the day, you only miss the chances you don't take. So go for it, do your best, and it will pay off.
This was such an incredible experience for me. I entered last year, and what was so different for me entering last year and this year, I really let go of what I felt like I would be perceived as. Like, I just let go and just did it. And for me, continuing to make it to the next round and the next round and the next round really also just grew that confidence that I started to feel even more. And I mean, even if I didn't make it, I feel like just letting go of what people would think of me and just actually just doing it, it was such a big thing for me. And I think for people that are considering doing it, just do it, because it's such a great opportunity for yourself to grow as a content creator and you sort of experimenting with different things and different styles. But It's also just an all-round awesome opportunity to create new connections and collaborate with different people. Let go of any preconceived notions that you have about yourself or about the competition and just do it.
Just do it, like go for it. You have nothing to lose. Have fun, work hard, and just take advantage of, you know, the whole experience. You have so much to learn. There's so much like space for growth. Even if you don't win, like, yes, the goal is to win, but there's so much more that you're taking from this whole competition. So just have fun with it, grow, learn, yeah.
I think don't be scared. I know that's a very cliche thing to say, but I really live by just going for things, and I was very skeptical on entering. I actually entered on the last day because I was so skeptical about it. I was scared because of what people might think of my body or how I look or their perception of health and their perception of who I am. And I remember making my video and thinking like, I'm just going to bite the bullet, I'm just going to do it. And I would just say, don't be scared, because who you are is a representation for someone else to see themselves in you. And that's so important. It's so, so important for somebody to be able to look up to someone and say, sure, she is the reason that I'm here today. She's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Just do it. Don't sit at home and think, oh, should I not? Yes, you should. It's going to be the most amazing experience of your life. It would mean that the self-doubt that I had in myself is nothing compared to what I can actually achieve, because I do feel that this competition has helped me grow so much in so many different fields.
Never try and compete with the contestants, compete with yourself, because ultimately you're doing this for yourself and you're trying to learn something out of this competition, whether it's self-growth or how to edit or in general just to become a better influencer or content creator. Is be always in competition with yourself. Always try and be better than the previous time, and always try and adapt a new skill or do something different that's unexpected. Never do the same thing.
Proving to myself that I'm capable of putting my mind to something and truly achieving it. It would mean a lot more than just being Ultimate Wildcat. It would truly mean to me that there is place for representation in society, and there is place for people who look different and see things differently and just experience life differently.